probably want to get a shot at my feet.
I do.
Okay. So my feet are offset, I'm not straight. So what I do here is I create like an alley to drag his leg. Okay? I'm going to come over and I'm going to C-grip his shin, like this, here. Okay? This is a more disengaged leg drag, like a quick one. I'll show you the application in a second. So I come here, over, and I'm going to come on the outside of his knee and grab the pants. Okay? Now I just drag it through this alley, like this. Okay? So now this is what people, when you teach it, are going to have a lot of problems with. I need to come in and close this space, but this isn't good enough. I also need to kill his hips. That's the point of the leg drag. So I come in and take a lateral movement here. Okay? So I'm smashing my shin into the back of his knee, which is going to tilt his hips. If you're not hitting the back of his leg, you're not going deep enough. So I'm here, I come in. See how his hips are killed this way? The way that makes it impossible for him to regain gravity. With this C-grip here, I put pressure down. It's going to make it very difficult for him to drop his knee low and get his guard back. Okay? So I immediately am letting go here, and I'm coming down and putting my hand in his belt like this. Not like this, like this. Okay, I come down, and I drop my head on the floor beside his head.
And is that to create chest pressure?
Yeah. Okay, and my head is going to be on the floor.
And John, when you initially drove in, you're on like driving in on like a 45 or 60 degree. You're not driving straight in. You're driving kind of on.
I'm kind of going
bit
in
of an
and
angle.
over.
In and over. Okay.
The vector would be like a 45.
Okay.
Here. So I'm like this, and I drop my head to the floor, and I stay on my toes.
And why does your head have to be on the floor, just so he can't look into you?
If it doesn't, I don't have
Stability?
When my head comes up, more pressure goes on my feet. So it's harder for me to move my feet when I'm bent over like that. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And I don't want my pressure on him. I don't want all my pressure on him because then he's free to move.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the theory of,
You just want to block him from being, you know, it's the same as the tripod cut through where we put our head on the mat beside his to block his.
and I keep it tight. So I'm driving his
Hey,
hips
Brendan.
this way, but I'm almost preventing his face from turning this way too.
Right, right.
With my head.
Perfect. So I notice you go over the ankle and not underneath on the heel, on the ball of the heel. Okay.
So I come here, I drag, I let go, I drop my head here, like that. And I'm driving my pressure forward. That's the difference between clamping down on his knee. That pressure would be down, my pressure is forward, the whole body, okay? Now I grab his lapel, and I take my elbow and put it underneath his knee and clamp it to my hip. And now I just stay here on my toes. If he wants to shrimp out, the only way he can shrimp is this way. And I'm just going to follow him with my feet. See? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
The reason why I don't come underneath is because this used to happen to me before. If I was to do this, which kind of seems right, it's more like an arm drag.
Traditional arm drag, yeah.
So people will get in the habit of that.
Yeah.
But what happens is, I come here, and I drag, and it puts a spider hook in. So when I drop my pressure, and he extends his leg, I have no pressure on him.
Of course.
I have to do this to release the pressure, and he's always just going to do this.
Now, John, do your grips change if he's able to pin his elbow to his ribs and not give you that sort of underhook on the side?
No, it all happens pretty quickly. No, because I still have a shot to his belt.
Okay.
Because he's tilted. He should be tilted.
Now, John, would you go to the belt, or would you try and get deeper if you could? Like, I got a long arm. Could I reach up and grab behind his lapel up here, possibly, or would I want to stay on the belt?
This is why. I come to the belt.
Okay.
Here, I'm lifting his back off the floor.
Ah, okay.
Every single thing I do in this is facilitating him turning to turtle.
Right.
Which is the best for me. Go ahead and jump on his back.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So
what happens? 3 points.
What happens here is I create a situation where he can only turn to turtle. It's impossible for him to turn into me. If he wants to let me take the pass, I'll take the 3. But with this lapel especially, or say he's not going to turtle, but I still want to take his back. With this belt grip, that's why this is really important. I'm going to pull his hips up in the air, so I can put my knee down. Do you know what I mean?
And how would you continue to back from there, John?
How would I continue to take the back?
Yeah, one way.
If I can put my bottom hook in, I would. If not, say I can't for whatever reason, I'll put my knee in, I'll put this over, and then I'll do the chair sit.
So, What makes the bottom hook advantageous over bringing that top sort of step over?
Because of this. If
The
I
half
step
guard
over-
issue?
Yeah. If I do this, and he can put his back on the floor.
He's got a right.
got
Whereas the other way, you're preventing that
Yeah.
here.
And like when you roll, yeah.
That space
Put
open.
my hook in, and now I stop him with my elbow on his lapel here.
Okay.
So continue to try to roll. Sure.
Now, what happens if you get his back there, and for whatever reason he's so flat that you don't have either hook in? Do you?
What do you mean, like flat on his stomach?
Well, no, he's still on his side, but you can't get a leg underneath him to get that first hook in.
Or over?
Or over, yeah. Like what would you attack then? Sometimes we get right here, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like crushing his head like a tie clinch.
Yeah, yeah.
He has very limited mobility.
So you're making his chin tuck his chest.
Yeah.
We'll give it to you. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Does it ever?
All right, let's get started then.